Hey y'all, today we're taking a little bit of a break from some of these home makeovers and we're going to go into the Goodwill bins. I have not been to my Goodwill outlet bins in a hot minute. Okay, like I said in the parking lot, I needed a little break from all of the projects and makeovers around the house, so I decided to head to the Goodwill bins. Can y'all believe that it has been a month since I have been to the Goodwill bins? Anyway, I wanted to come today before they close for the rest of the week because our Goodwill bins closes on Wednesday at I think 5 or 6, and they do not reopen until Sunday. So I just needed a good thrifting day to kind of reset my brain a little bit and see if there's anything in here that I could not live without. And also, I'm coming in here with a little bit of a mission because I'm about to start doing a little mini refresh in my living room. I recently moved a piece of furniture out of there and into another area of my house. So now I've got an empty spot that I'm trying to figure out what to do with. So while I'm in here, I'm keeping my eyes open for maybe a furniture piece, even though they don't have a lot of furniture at my Goodwill bins. But anyway, I'm going to be looking for some baskets, some lamps, some little country primitive touches, and anything that just might work for a cozy summer refresh in there. And y'all already know that the Goodwill bins, you just truly never know what you're going to come across. Sometimes I leave with nothing, and sometimes I leave with a completely full cart. Also, I am going to be kind of spreading the thrift haul throughout this video while I shop, so make sure you stay all the way to the end so you don't miss anything that actually came home with me from part 1 of this trip. I hope that everyone had a really good Memorial Day weekend. We spent time with our family. We went swimming, even though the water was cold. We grilled out, we played washers, and just really enjoyed having a slow day together with the people we love the most. Okay, before we keep going through the bins, I wanted to pause for just a second and show you a few of the things that you've already seen me put in my buggy, but that actually did end up making it back home with me. There have been some really good finds on this trip so far, and I just thought it might be fun to kind of spread the haul throughout the video instead of waiting until the very end because y'all, my buggy kept changing all evening. I was putting things in, taking things back out, changing my mind, and trying to really think about what would actually work in my home and in this living room refresh that I'm about to start. So let me show y'all a few of the things that officially made the cut so far, and then we'll head back to doing a little more digging. Okay, so we'll start with this pillow insert, and I'm not really sure if this one is a feather, down, or maybe a blend of both, but I love finding these while thrifting because they usually look and feel so much nicer than the regular polyfilled pillows, in my opinion. They're great for making pillows look a little more cozy and high-end, and they fluff and shape so much better when you are trying to style them on couches, chairs, or your beds. Plus, these can actually get pretty expensive brand new. I noticed the regular Goodwill stores priced these for $3.69 each, and as you'll notice here, I actually did find another one. So I found a set of 2 that look exactly alike, and they smell great. There's nothing wrong with them. I am going to try to wash these, so stay tuned for that. Okay, next I found these little baby shark picks. I don't know if these are like cupcake picks, cake picks, what exactly they go on originally, but these weigh nothing. I probably paid pennies for these, so I threw these in the buggy so one of the kids could have these for a birthday party or something like that. Okay, let's get back to digging through some of these Goodwill bins and seeing what else we come across. I do have more stuff to share with you, so stay tuned, and I'll share another grouping of items here shortly. I came across this. It looked very primitive. Not wallpaper. What is this? A border. I think you would put wallpaper up and then you would put the border like along the top. I don't know. I just thought it looked so country and so cute. So I do chunk that in my buggy. I do end up taking that out at the end of this trip when I do a whole buggy check because I just couldn't figure out exactly what I would want to do with something like that. Y'all know when you're at the bins, you put everything in the buggy and you think about everything in the buggy. And you do a whole check there at the end and put things back that you don't want. People will come right behind you and snatch things up so fast. So I just put everything in my buggy or cart, whatever you want to call it, and I think about it there. All my children have paws. Now, isn't that so cute? There are so many people that their animals literally are their babies. And y'all, I don't know if I have mentioned this already or not, but these bins were packed. And I don't mean with people. There was just so much stuff everywhere. And by the time I finished this thrifting trip, I ended up leaving with an overflowing cart. I mean, it was just full of finds, not just for me, but for other people as well. Anytime I can come across some organizational pieces at the Goodwill bins, especially when they are those little light square thingies. I don't know what they're called. They go in some of the cubbies. They are so light. They cost nothing. And that one was in very good shape. And I'm always thinking about either storage for myself or one of my daughters. So again, that's just one of those things that I'm going to throw in the buggy and check with them here later on this thrifting trip and see if either one of them wants that. And then look at this huge flamingo, y'all. And this is what I mean by if you don't go ahead and put it in your buggy and think about it, somebody else will grab it. As soon as I kind of tossed that thing to the side like I didn't want it, a lady stepped right over behind me and got that thing so fast. She got it for one of her grandkids, she said, but that is just how fast things get picked up behind you if you don't grab them. It's just, y'all, it's just always so funny to me how the trips where I think that I'm not going to find anything, I just end up having so much stuff for me and everybody else that it is just so wild. Now, I want to mention that I actually did put these in my buggy. I was trying to figure out exactly how you use these. I think these might have went in one of the masks that you wear. I don't know, like a paint mask or something. And then maybe you could change that filter out and use it for dust, like if you were sanding or something like that. I wasn't really sure if I had the right equipment to put those filters in. So again, I put it in my buggy and I thought about it, but I do end up putting them back. Okay, here's another one of those little moments where I'm going to stop and show you something else that I purchased. I do have more items coming, but I did go ahead and bring this little brown storage thing home. The regular Goodwills were charging $2.69, and I brought this home because one of my daughters said that she wanted it. Okay, so let's get back to these bins and do some more digging, and then I'll share some more things that I found with you on this thrifting trip here in just a little bit. And of course, I'm going to grab these United States of America flags, USA flags, and throw them in my buggy. I am wanting to do some tea staining on some flags for a little 4th of July kind of vignette. So I just wanted to put those in my buggy and think about those for now. There's another little storage piece, but I don't think anybody really is looking for like the shoe boxes like that. So I left that behind, and we're just going to keep on digging because I am just constantly uncovering something good, and I am loving what's going in my buggy at the Goodwill bins today. I kept seeing several boxes of this, but you might have noticed in a clip earlier, I did take one and open it and try to kind of see what was in there because I really couldn't make sense of what the package was saying. And it is nothing that I wanted. It was like photo paper that you would put in your printer. I'm sure that somebody can use it, but I find it's just as cheap for me to just have them printed like at Walmart or Walgreens or something like that. So I did leave those for somebody else, but you'll see just all of the things that I am uncovering. There was just so much stuff. That little star tin would be really cute as decor. And of course, I'm always thinking about the boys when I come across little cars and different little things like that. I'm thinking about my older daughters, who one has just moved into her new home, and then another one that has hers kind of ordered and is in the process. So I'm just always looking for other people while I thrift as well, and not just myself. I thought that those canvas paintings were really pretty. And here's a little tip for you. You can buy those canvases like that are already painted on, especially at the bins where they are so inexpensive. Get you some paint either at the bins or at a craft store, and you can bring those home for a good, fun summer project. You can paint over them with a solid color and then let your kids go back behind and paint something else unique, like some kind of design or picture that they want to paint. They love that. It's inexpensive, and then you're able to recycle and reuse something from the bins to keep it from going to the landfill. I wasn't really sure what these were, so I was trying to investigate these little napkin rings here. I think they were stars or something, but I couldn't really tell. And then I spotted this little vintage chopper. I thought that this might be really fun to have, but it would not work that well at all. So here's another little grouping of things that I purchased on this trip. Of course, I told y'all that I was definitely going to get the flags made in USA. I love these. I want to do some tea staining on these. So give me all of your coffee or tea staining ideas for the flags. And then I picked up this little package of napkins because why not? They have the most fun little summer print on them. They don't really go with my decor, but they'll work at the coffee bar or for a picnic or anything like that. And for as cheap as I probably got them, it is definitely worth it. And then I picked up this training potty for little Channing. He is about to start potty training, and Kelsey was actually looking on Target's website to get him a little potty chair. So when I FaceTimed her to ask her if she wanted this, she said absolutely, because she couldn't find one at the thrift stores. I said, well, no worries, I got you covered. So she can just bleach that one and get it ready for little Channing. So yeah, here we are back at the bins to see if we can find anything else, because like I said, I was definitely on a roll on this thrifting trip day. This little blue water bottle made its way into my buggy so that I could check with my older daughters and see if one of their kids wanted it. And this piece right here, I could not for the life of me figure out what it was. They were selling it for a little over $8 at the regular Goodwill, so it must have been something, or it couldn't have been. Who knows with the regular Goodwill stores. And then I spotted this metal little tin. I like to get things like this to hold receipts or for anything that I might need to put in it and put in our attic, just to kind of protect it if there's ever a fire. But this one just was not big enough for like receipts and paperwork and anything like that I like to put in those. And then I spotted this green cap that I'm going to toss in the buggy and think about, because my grandchildren all go to a school that their colors are green. So I thought that might be fun. And then the little heart tin, I probably should have purchased that. I did not. I just kind of tossed it to the side like I didn't even have a care in the world. It would have been great for Valentine's Day to use propped up on a backsplash or something for decor. And then of course here is another little storage kind of caddy thing that I think one of my daughters might want. So we're going to, again, just toss that in the buggy and think about it. And then I spot this green Kleenex holder across the way, and I'm trying to get to it just so I can get a good look at it. I get distracted by these beautiful plates. They are plastic, not necessarily my style, but they are beautiful. I do uncover another one here in just a minute, and I will put it with that one just so that somebody can see them together. I thought one of the little boys might like this frame, but not really. I just tossed that to the side, and I was like, no, I don't really think their moms would care for that, so I just left that there. Again, just uncovering all kind of stuff today, little plastic plates. And then I make my way over to this vintage Kleenex looking box. It is so heavy, and that is the main reason that I left it. First of all, I didn't like the little, there's that other plate right there, so I'm going to put it with its sister. I didn't like the chrome, on the bottom of that little Kleenex holder, so I just left it. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it, so I left that behind for someone else. So here's another grouping of things that I purchased on this day. This little black caddy, my daughter Kara decided that she wanted it for one of her kids' bathrooms to put stuff in. The regular Goodwill was charging $1.69 for that, which is crazy because you can get those at the dollar store. Here's just another little recap of everything that I purchased on this day. The pillows, the little potty seat, the flags, and then the little black caddy. I got these adorable little summer looking napkins, which I think will be fun, like I said, for a picnic, or I can put it in my coffee bar. And then these little shark picks that can go in some kind of treat for the kids. So today's video is just part one to this Goodwill Bins thrifting trip. I bought so much stuff that I had to break it up into 2 videos. So we will be back tomorrow to finish thrifting in here and then showing you the rest of my amazing haul. And then I will tell y'all the total amount paid for everything. You don't want to miss it. I find such good stuff. We hope y'all have a wonderful evening. We love y'all, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with a brand new thrifting video.